All right, we have the Call to Arms event in Destiny 2, kind of a yearly event, it seems it's going to be. We're going to do a bit of a rundown here, how the event works. We've spent about 24 hours kind of just working through how it works and how to earn rewards, the title, and how to guild it as well. We'll go through that. It's very easy to do that or quickly go over that. And there has been already some changes that happened today, and there will be more changes later on to make it more quality of life, more easier to understand, or for everybody to join in instead of just being super late game. And we're gonna talk about that and show you guys what I mean about that. We'll also talk about we'll talk about salt mines and kind of how to get some points for that. Explain that as well. So start off with the basics of the event. When you first spawn into the game, you're gonna get a quest over here, Iron Banner one. Don't ignore that, but there should be a quest called Armament Protocol. And this is the intro quest. You won't be able to do the coil, proving grounds, or halo stat until you finish that. So go to the tower, talk to different K, and then he'll give you the next step, which is either or both. Open up the daily chest, which is next to him, and do one of the activities, which would be either salt mines or the Crucible PvP game mode, which is going to be zone control. Pick either or, do one of them. I would recommend to do this first and then pick up the chest after, as the chest rewards are based off your points, but you don't get that much points anyways on your first run, so it's fine. But other than that, do that. Then he'll want you to go ahead and claim a reward from the reward pass or the event pass. So we claim the first thing, rank 1, the phosphor asset, and then it wants you to go ahead and do a daily challenge. Daily challenges, it'll rotate daily, and they're going to be different for each one. You could do it pretty much anywhere. Most activities doesn't have to be the exact activities that are listed in here, but you can just do whatever you want and just finish one of those, claim it, give you some XP, and then you head back to the tower, and different K will finish the quest for you, giving you enhancement core. And then now everything should be unlocked mostly. I heard that heliostat might be blocked or not be unlocked unless you actually do the mission normally. I'm not sure. Whatever it means, I have no idea, but whatever. It may not be there. It should be there. Who knows? But it's matchmaking, so there is that. Talk about the whole premise of this event, which is going to be down here at the scoreboard. They kind of explain it when you first enter this UI, but you can listen here, I guess. So basically, there is 5 activities that you will play, and the activities, the way you earn points is based off the modifiers you apply before entering. So for salt mines here, you'll see that the more modifiers you put on, you'll see the triangles here. It will increase your projected score, which is for me over here 2.5 million, which is affected by the challenge modifier, which is the difficulty, I'm pretty sure, and the reward multiplier, which is based off your highest power and the modifiers. Now ignore that because that is changed. It will be changed. As long as you're 500 power, it will be the reward modifier will be the same for everybody. So that's gonna be changed for the future. So that's fine. Power doesn't matter unless you're below 500, which this event kind of is for people who are super end game. So that's the main competition for top 1%. You can still play the event below 500, but you might not get every single reward mostly. So this is a change that's gonna be happening soon. You'll see it now, but before you have to be max power in order to get top 1% at that point. Anyway, so that's that. So put modifiers on, and then just finish the activity basically, and that's pretty much just a bit for all of them. Everything is matchmaking, but for the most part, matchmaking, the modifiers for matchmaking isn't enough to get top 1%, even top 30% or top 10%. Top 30%, yeah. You're not gonna, the matchmaking isn't enough. You have to have a fire team or use fire team finder, and you have to put the modifiers manually. There's no way to matchmake with the modifiers because there's so much variety. There's no way people are using the same ones, so the matchmaking doesn't really work for that. So you have to go in fire team finder and find people who are doing that together, or have friends, which is hard to do, and then run that together and then you'll get more points if you do it like that. Now, the main thing is the rewards here. So how does this work? 325 points, what does that even supposed to mean? So based off the tier of your points you earn, you have like top 100%, or not, I don't even know, like below everything, below average, I guess, would be 1 point. And then if you're above average, it's 5 points. And then I think if you are, it says 50 points, which is not true. I think it's 10 points. I see here, 10 points. And then if you're top 10%, it's 50 points. And then if you're top 1%, it's 300 points by total. So technically, for rewards wise, if you just want to get the emblem, you just have to get top 1% in one of the activities. If you just want the helmet, then you need to get top 10% in 2 activities, or top 1% for, or top 1% for everything, or just the helmet, top 10% and 2 of these activities, basically. So it's your choice for that. So there's that. Now, what is the reason of getting above, other than the emblem? Why do we go above 310 points? Well, when you hover over the ornament, the Seraphim Age cover, it says that earning 100 points or more will enhance the visual effects of the item. So all I can expect is that if you get maxed out everything, I'm sure if anybody would care, but it'll probably look a lot different than the 100 or the 300 version of it. Okay, it does though say that it does reset. So do mind you, like I said earlier in the video, this is I would assume a yearly event, or every 6 months. I don't know what's the rate of this, but best to say at the end of an expansion, main expansion. That's, I guess, 6 months, I would assume. It will, the visual effects will reset. So you do have to have kind of upkeep here if you want to keep that visual effect going for the entire time, basically. You keep the helmet, I would assume, obviously, but if you want to keep the same fire, you do have to keep getting the points every single time this event comes by, again and again and again. Okay, so that's the rewards. Now, the way the rewards work, you have to earn the amount of points and keep those points until it locks, and it locks on the last 3 days. So the 72 hours before the event ends, your points will lock. So let's say, for example, I'm at 325 right now. I have to maintain these points until the very end of the event. These points can fluctuate over time, which we'll explain in a second here. But as long as I keep the 310 points above that, these rewards will be claimable in the final 3 days of the event. So you're gonna have to grind for the timer here for 9 days, 13 hours, keep those points up for those amount of days, and then it'll lock your points, and then your rewards will be claimable. The final 3 days, you shouldn't be able to earn any points during the final 3 days. That's just like the epilogue for Guardian games. You go ahead and you claim those rewards of those final 3 days. Make sure you log in those final 3 days and then claim them. All right. Now, what I said that they fluctuate because the way these point systems or the percentiles work is the approximations are of everybody playing the game. So the more people who get a certain amount of points, it pretty much averages the percentile for each of those tiers, basically. So if people get 3 million, if a lot of people get 3 million points, then it's going to start averaging to 3 million points eventually. So the longer you wait, it could either go up or it could go lower, depending on how people play the game. For example, Proving Grounds, I had 1.8 million, and it went down. I got pushed up to top 30% over time without me playing it. So it is possible for these scores to go down, but it's not as common as normal, I would say. So that's pretty much it, how that works. So if you wait too long, if you wait long enough, you might get a bit better understanding of what you need to beat, but maybe a bit too early, you might go down. Your score might go down and you have to replay the game and yada yada yada. But up to you how you want to do that, basically. Well, since we're here showing you guys the salt mines, talking about this point system, let's go about and talk about how we got this score. Now, like I said already, there is going to be changes on how this is going to be, and different in a couple days, but in order to get this score, you had to be 550. Yeah, I was 535 to get this score. You don't have to be 535. You could be 500 when it's available. But for modifiers, what I used, and it's going to be taken only. That's one big change. It's going to be taken only. Not going to. It's not change to dread. So don't worry about dread. It's going to be taken only. I like to do caltrops. I like to do deadly stasis threat because there's not much stasis. There's no real stasis threat in this activity, other than there's minotaurs that shoot those and do more damage anyways. And then we're gonna choose grounded. You'll see why in a second. It's not that bad. We're gonna choose slow and small. This makes no difference at all. Glass cannon makes no difference at all. And then we're gonna do ammo famine for a good reason. And then for this, we're going to do pressure cooker because you shouldn't take that long to beat it. Now, a major change that's going to happen for this is that, you see, I did bows and weapons. You don't have to do bows and weapons. Well, bow weapons only. I mean, bow weapons only. You don't have to do that. I did it because it's max score. They are going to make a change where they're going to, all of these stakes here, all weapon stakes are going to be +5. So all of these will be +5. In a couple days. So you can pick whatever you want if you have a loadout for that. I use this because it's max score. You don't have to anymore. You can still do that. You still use this and still get 3 million points. No big deal, right? But for me, I'm using bow. I use bow only because I just want to do it. But anyway, so there's that. And then we have no sorry ammo. We don't need it if you have bows only. And then Brawn, which is the most important thing. The reason why Brawn's important because it pretty much negates this and negates this. So even though you're scared of maybe grounded and maybe glass cannon taking more damage, you don't take that much more damage with Brawn. Unless you have some minor healing, it's gonna be okay with that. Okay, so there is that. And then we have Extinction. Now, Extinction, not that bad. You just have 1 life, not a big deal. Now people say like, oh, it's disabled. The reason why it's disabled is because if you're running the modifier battlefield promotion, you can't run both of them because it makes this modifier easier, technically in quotations easier, because the whole point of it is that when a combatant defeats a player, which is a human player, it gets promoted. But in Extinction, you die once, the activity is over. So half the point of this modifier is gone. You know what I mean? So they just removed it at that point. You can make the same argument with match game with dread. There isn't much shields unless there's hidden shields of the strand and stasis guys, but there wasn't really a shield though. So, but it still works though. But anyways, that's that. So these are modifiers I would use. You can see that this is the max modifier because it's like 25x that, right? So that is the one. That's what I used to run with. So, there is that. I'll show you some footage here. So for salt mines, what I did was I pretty much if I'm using bows only, then I'm just gonna be spamming abilities, and so I'm trying to get the objective. They do all objectives. So like, objectives like I'll get like headshots or get combatant kills or get ability kills. You want to get one that's suited more for you. So I just re-rolled it until it happens. The most important thing, which won't be shown in the videos, I didn't get it. The only reason why we have 3.1 million points, not because of the power or the challenge modifiers, it is because of the one important detail. There is a chance during the run a high value target that might spawn. It's not even a secret. This is a known thing for earning these points. I'm not trying to inflate the points here, but it's just a normal thing. Okay. It is straight up around halfway through the mission. There can be a heavy target. If you kill the heavy targets, it will give you more points than the 10k normally. 10k is like you get 11k, so like 25x 11k is more than obviously 10k, right? So there's that. So I'm running this with just a 2 of all bows and a crossbow, and it's just a simple, like, this is with the same modifiers as we had. Like we take 0 damage with everything. Of glass cannon active and grounded as well. I do some jumps and doesn't really do much as well. Having blast isn't not what you want. Blast will kill you. Everything does splash damage, so that's why I don't have that equipped. Granite is fine. Things don't really hurt that much. I'm showing this cool gameplay here. And when it comes to blights, we just do this the entire time. We just stand up on top of it and just shoot with the bow. And not much else to really do, honestly. That's pretty much the gist of this entire mission. As long as you get to the high bar target, should spawn at around, let's say, around here. So if you once you drop down here, if you head down to the bottom right, you should see a vandal, a yellow bar vandal boss. If it's not there, it's not there. It's not a bad thing that it's not there. You gotta keep running it. And if you are going for the title, like, people might just like quit and try to do it again. I would just run through the mission again, run through the mission fully, finish it, just so that you get the XP for the event track. I mean, unless you're not trying to go for the title, then you can just rerun it. But other than that, that's it. So just run through the entire mission as you would. Make sure you have a way that's done to sub world champion. We had we had threadlings, but also we have ignition to stun it for the most part. Now this is that Bane, the new Bane they added, protection Bane, the low drone guy. I don't know if it can soft lock somehow, but with a bow it's fun to shoot totally. The way to unsoft lock it, which is depending on how you play the game. I mean, if they are immune and you need to kill them, then the only way you can kill them is by super, if there's no more drones to shoot. But of course, if you use your super at some point and you have to wait for your super to come back up, a bit of an issue because you have a timer to finish this boss fight. You know what I mean? So up to you. Or unlucky, I guess. But anyway, so there's no more boss fight. Just kill the blights, kill the boss, normal stuff. Like 3 minutes to spare. No big deal. And the score we get without the high value target, with max modifier, with max reward multiplier, that will be removed. In terms of power wise, you'll be 500 power. We get about 2.8 million. And 2.8 million, if you look here, 2.8 million is right now, which will probably be not that great, is barely enough for it to be top 1%. It seems like the threshold of making sure you find the high value target during the mission will be the big yes, you need that in order to be top 1%. And once with these changes happening, is probably going to be needed for the most part. Okay, so that's just for salt mines. I'm sure if you have a fire team, you can probably get these done. Other ones, I don't have a fire team. I don't even know how zone control works. I know that with the biggest change for zone control is that they remove the modifier for cutting edge. It will say cutting edge still, I think, but the modifier for it is gone, and I can launch it even though I have, well, if I equip this, or I don't know, equip this or something like this, I could still launch it, you can see, because they removed the modifier for it to be only new gear, which is, those are not new gear, right? So that works fine, that all works good. Okay, but that's that. So that's new. And they did apparently fix a bug of it not updating, so that should be fine as well. You can grind that if you're PvP, but I don't know how hard is it to get tier 1 on that. I don't know how that works. Okay. And then after that, let's go over the title real quick. Title is very simple stuff. It's a guildable title. I speak English anymore. Very simple. The very first quests or triumphs, it's just get a score in each one. So once you finish the intro quest, you'll be able to do all 5 activities. So do at least one time, run through all matchmaking, and that will give you all the triumphs basically. All the triumphs done. And then we have the this one here, which is get all 7 weapons. Just by playing those activities, they will drop a loot drop by default, or you can also head over to Devrim K in the tower, and you can attune, which is like focusing a weapon, and that will pretty much guarantee yourself a specific drop. So if you need like crossbow, you gotta tune the crossbow, and then you'll get the best chance to get the crossbow for that. Okay. You could also, you know, buy them as well if you go to the reward shop. If you have the currency from daily challenges, weekly challenges, then you can go ahead and buy them directly here as well, I think. So that works out as well. Then we have the next one is open 5 call to arms daily chests. So these chests, they are going to be in the tower, so there's no way rule to speed this up. You have to play on 5 different days and log on and just climb the chest. What's good about the chest is that it's a power drop. So if 300 points you have, it will drop 5 armor or weapons in total, or if you're like 100, then it'd be 4 or something. So the higher the points you have, the more drops you get, but they also give you power drops. So if you're still power grinding, it's a pretty nice chunk of power that will help you if you still need it. And because the power isn't resetting in Renegades, I mean, I'll take it for now. You know what I mean? I just finished the 550 grind. I just finished this a couple hours ago. It took it was like about an hour and a half to get 10 power. I was like 540, and I just finished it in an hour, so like, or hour or two. It's pretty easy. Anyways, so there's that. And then we have the final triumph here for getting the title, which is the hardest one or the longest one. It is finishing the event track. Now the event track is 40 event ranks for whatever reason. I'm not sure why it's so much. Considerably, the Festival of Lost event was 30 tracks, 30 ranks, and you had 3 weeks. It was initially 2 weeks, but the 3 weeks made it a lot easier. But 2 weeks for 30 is also pretty crazy. But then this is 2 weeks for 40, so a bit crazy. Doing any portal activity will give you XP. The higher difficulty, the more XP. I'm pretty sure how it works. I don't think doing these may give more XP than the normal other activities, but I can't confirm. It's hard to really check back and forth, so whatever. Your main gimmick, or not main gimmick, the main thing to get XP is your daily challenges. So if you can log in every day, then doing these 3 daily challenges every single day will give you at least 1 level and a half, maybe 2 ranks per day, or maybe 3, depending on how much you play. You know, if you're doing these challenges within a portal activity, then you're getting the XP from doing the portal activity plus the XP from finishing it in the weekly challenge, which is playing all the activities once. At least it might I don't know if it's going to change the different next week, but the weekly challenge is like a 3 levels or 2.5 levels, so it's not that crazy. Your main focus will be doing this and then playing activities. I'm much fun to finish this to get the title, whatever. I don't know, I think maybe a bit of time to finish that, I'll be honest with you. And then we have the last thing, which is Gilding the Triumph, which is just pretty much, or Gilding the Title, which is pretty much the same thing of earning all the rewards. Earning 310 points by the end of the event will gild the title. So you won't be able to, even if you get 310 points, but if you don't finish the event track, you're not going to gild it. You're not going to earn the title. Getting the triumph done, the gilding triumph won't do anything. You have to get, obviously, everything done first, and then you can get this one done, even if you have 310 points. So 310 points to get the gilding, but of course you get the event track done first, which is annoying to do. I'm gonna try to finish it eventually, but it's gonna take a bit of time. I'll be honest with you. So that is that. So that is I think mostly the event, I would say. The changes are happening soon, basically. So let's say, let me just go recap them again, just so that we get them down. I'll probably post them in the comments as well, in the description, just so that you guys can see them. So Salt Mines is only taken. That is it for the rest of the event. Cutting Edge is removed from Crucible mode, so you want to use new gear. Zone Control is fixed in recording scores, and whatever. And then this will happen eventually, maybe in 2 days from now. They're going to remove power multiplier, so you'll only have to be 500 power in order to get the max multiplier. So that's that. They added this change here, which is apparently you can be able to add boons without red or green triangles. So I don't know what that really does. Maybe that's for possibly, maybe this might be good. If it's saying that you can add boons that doesn't change the modifier, then unless it's specifically all modifiers or 0 or specific ones, like maybe I could, I don't know, maybe put on these positive boons and they don't remove a multiplier, then I can get these easy ones possibly. I'm not sure how that really works, but I mean, they're going to add a way where you can add boons without removing the modifier. So I don't know how it works. Anyways, and the last one is they're going to change all of the stakes to +5. So you can use any of these instead of having bows, weapons only. And that's it. That's pretty much it. They are looking into increasing the coil revives and the drones bugging out. And that's it. So that's the, I think that's pretty much the event, the rundown. Let me double check if I forgot anything. I guess I did forget about one thing. It's not that important anymore. It would have been, but there's these Lawless Vouchers here. So these vouchers can only be opened once Renegades is active or out. These vouchers here was kind of their thing if power was going to reset back to 200 at the start of Renegade, which is not happening anymore if you didn't know. This redeeming these vouchers would have helped a little bit, maybe okay amount when Renegade started. If you opened up one of these boxes, you would have got a tier 3 because everything would have been reset back to tier 2. Well, earning things would have been tier 2 again. So you would have got a tier 3 weapon or armor that would be brand new. And then if you open 4 of these, you would have got a prime engram, which would help in your power grind. Now, maybe, I don't know, but it's possible that the new gear that dropped, the weapon or armor, could drop at your power. So it could have helped still, in a sense, to your power grind. Things dropping of your power is pretty nice in that sense. But I think you can probably earn about 20 of these or 24. I don't know. I think you can get 19 from the event track, and then you get +1. You get +1 if you redeem the emblem here. So I'm assuming you get more here. So each time you claim one of these, you get another voucher. So you get 24 in total, which makes sense in the math of 4 boxes equals 1 per engram. So if you finish the event track and then you get the rest here, you should get 24 in total, which I don't know. That's it, I guess. So that is the event. Hope I didn't miss anything. If not, if you have any questions, then ask away in the comments. And everything should be timestamped, so hopefully you guys can follow along and all that good stuff. All right, that is it. And yeah.